Tim Rooney not wanting any fanfare or any extra attention. Tough darts, Tim. A lot of people love you, and a bunch of them are here tonight. At this time, I'm going to offer the microphone first to Mrs. Hunter,
I'm going to pass it.
and you're deferring it to
the
Otis?
person that hired him.
Okay, well, in that case,
Thank you.
Otis?
Do you want us all to come up?
You should, because it'll expedite things. So this is just, obviously, Tim is going to, they're big tough shoes, they're big shoes to follow. So these are folks who, for one reason or another, didn't get an opportunity to publicly thank Tim, and they wanted to take the time to come tonight. So they're going to move along quickly, but Otis.
I'm Otis Conway, 8095 Colony. I just want to publicly thank Tim for his 27 years of running the Recreation Department. You may not all know, but we did not have a Recreation Department before that. We passed a small millage. Tim started out working on the trunk of his car, and then out of the Eddie Heineman gave him a little office in the corner where they did the laundry, and then we moved on to several, I think like 6 locations to what we have now. Since we did have Water's Edge, and we had Gyra running football, baseball, basketball, but we didn't have an official recreation department, which really gave us the opportunity to get a lot of matching funds, which weren't available before. And as you all know, we have the farm, we've got the new kayak launch ramp. Tim was, even though the road department officially has the bike pass, Tim was initially responsible to work with them to get that going, and that's been really wonderful for the island. With the kayak launch ramp down there, some volleyball courts, and Tim has now taken, a few years ago took over Water's Edge also. So we really appreciate what Tim did. I think it was his enthusiasm. A lot of people can step in a job that's already set and improve from there, but Tim started with a job that wasn't there, and he brought it up to where it is today. So we really appreciate it. And I'd like to introduce Dick Weiss. He was also on the commission. We were on the initial commission for 20 years, so we worked with him quite a bit. Okay. Where'd he go?
Dick Weiss, 2219 Miami Drive. It's like Otis said, he and I were on we started up with the rec commission, and then interviewed a lot of people to try to get a recommendation to the board for the best person. And I think we got the best person. He works relentlessly. You'll find him picking up trash somewhere. You'll find him running programs somewhere. It's the whole gamut. So I appreciate, and we all appreciate, that he spent so much time with the people of Grosse Ile. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, Terry Hunter, 25630 East River Road. I first met Tim Rooney during the construction of the Playscape, and that exhilarating project, if some of you remember, encompassed over 1,000 volunteers, and after its completion, Tim was given the responsibility for the maintenance of the structure, and over the last 2 decades, it has been a place where children in our community can dream their dreams and create adventures through their play at the structure. I spent 13 years serving this community with Tim on the Grosse Ile Recreation Commission, which included the merging of the Water's Edge Commission. And I'm at a place in my life where I can now look back and compare where Tim's recreation leadership has taken this community in his almost 3 years as a director. He was also very instrumental in developing a vision for Centennial Farm, what this property could and what it has become for our community. He aiding all the community groups, developing a children's garden, working with the group that wanted to do a dog park, the animal shelter, play structure. Think of all the birthday parties, recreational fundraisers, senior activities, et cetera, Eagle Scout projects that take place like in the building and on that property, and Tim had a hand in that. Not sure if any of the general public remembers or have heard of the Azalea Festival, and I'm not sure if our community members realize that the history of the present-day Island Fest. Tim played a role from the start, and how much enjoyment has that experienced given the members of our community. They're ready for Halloween parade, now a firmly established island tradition. is a memory maker for our youngest citizens and the young at heart. Many of our present-day township commission structures that exist and serve this community today, at some point, Tim Rooney's recreational leadership was involved with many of these commissions. One does not have to look very far to see Tim's leadership in the opportunities for recreational enjoyment here on Grosse Ile. He took an idea, brainstormed, found a way to make it happen. Tim often told me, if it's good for Grosse Ile, why not? His decisions were firmly rooted in the best interest of this community. He was upbeat and positive to the groups that he worked with. He was willing to go above and beyond. He made himself available to our community groups. He was there when they needed him, and he was eager to help. And perhaps the average community member has no idea of the scope of his contributions during his tenure with Grosse Ile Township. And that's why it was so important for me to come here tonight. And I appreciate the opportunity that you've given me through this public comment forum, because I was not able to attend his recognition on July 14th. But it's an opportunity for me personally to express my gratitude to Tim and to celebrate the culmination of his career here on Grosse Ile. Tim is deeply respected in this community, and he leaves us with that respect. It's been an honor to serve this community with you, Tim. Your contributions have been far-reaching and will have a positive impact on generations to come. And not everyone can make that claim in their life's work, can they? But Grosse Ile is a better place because of you. So Godspeed, and thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Hunter.
Sue Kaufman was a member of a commission that worked with Tim, and she's not present tonight, but gave me this to read for her. While I cannot attend the meeting tonight, I am happy and proud to make a few comments about Tim Rooney. Tim has been an inspirational leader and community partner for the Grosse Ile Herb Society over several years. I have had the privilege of serving with Tim on countless projects and committees, and over all of these years, he has been such a help. Our children's garden is located in the Centennial Farm. Tim has been instrumental in the development and maintenance of the grounds, while partnering in several key projects with local Eagle Scouts. He has provided endless support to the annual Herb Fest event, which has served more than 5,000 attendees over the years, with its reach as a major statewide event. Whatever the request, Tim finds the resources and personnel to make it happen. I truly believe that we are in the top 1% of luckiest communities in the state of Michigan. The position of Recreation Director takes a special person with an enormous set of talents, patience, and commitment. Tim Rooney has excelled at managing and growing the department to the benefit of the entire Grosse Ile community. Sue Kaufman.
Thank you. Thanks. All right, Mrs. Sasek.
I jumped the gun. Hi, Suzanne Sasek, 25674 Meridian. I'm currently president of the Grosse Ile Township Schools, and I just wanted to come to say that I had the pleasure of meeting Tim about 20 years ago when I was part of a soccer program. I quickly learned how dedicated and accommodating that Tim could be. He readily addressed many of the suggestions and criticisms that went towards the programs, and he tried to make them better. He always took criticisms in stride and tried to improve everything from year to year. So on behalf of the entire Grosse Ile Board of Education, both past and present, I'd like to thank Tim for his continued support to Grosse Ile Township Schools and the children of our community. During times of limited resources, which we've had quite a few of recently, Tim always looked for opportunities, whether through grants or new programs, to assist the district in improvements for our schools and offer enrichment opportunities for the lives of our students, so our district and the Board of Education could focus on the needs of the students in the classroom. So Tim, thank you for the work you've done for the Grosse Ile and the Grosse Ile students. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Sassick. Mr. Hunter.
One last.
No, Uda's already.
Jim Hunter, 25630 East River Road. Just like to take the time to thank Tim again for the privilege of working with Tim when I was president of the Grosseal Soccer Association back in the 90s. It was Tim's hard work and actually getting the soccer fields over at the airport Commerce Park. Otherwise, we didn't have a place to, we had, Sacred Heart, a number of different areas we had to run around to. At that point, Tim was instrumental in working with the township, the FAA, the Airport Authority, and the Grosseal Soccer Association to put this together. He worked on getting grants for us to help clean up the fields out there because of all the debris that was left over from the reclamation when they took down the old Navy base pool. So this gave hundreds of island kids a chance to play soccer at local facilities. So again, Tim, I'd like to say thank you for making the island a better place to live.
Thank you, Mr. Hunter. Mrs. O'Connor.
Thank you. I'm going to add to all what has just been said about dear Tim Rooney. He's a very humble man. He is a servant leader, and he's very humble and very modest about what he did and what he brought to the table. And yet he has been a hero to many of us who served with him on the Rec Commission, on the Festival Commission, as part of countless activities that took place on this island. Tim and his family have won a place in our hearts as part of the township family. His kids grew up alongside our kids. I remember when I first started, Recreation Department was located in a garage at the old Township Hall. And we gathered the energy and the support and the money to build the facility at Centennial Farm after that millage was passed. At that point, we put out a notice to put up a playscape. And I remember Terry, our kids, our little girls were just like 6 or 7 years old. And now they're college women, they're graduates. And they've grown, and so has the Recreation Department with Tim. What started out as a small facility really grew into a public hug for the community, from pools, marinas, soccer fields, sled hill, all the way down to fireworks at the Island Fest. So when I think of Tim Rooney, I think of heart and I think of energy. And remember that when you hire a new director in a few weeks' time, that even though Tim is maybe 6 feet tall, his feet are huge, and he will leave very large shoes to fill. But again, thank you for giving us this opportunity to say thank you to a dear friend.
Cool. Thank you, Mrs. O'Connor. Mr. Fournier.
I'm a fellow manager with Tim. I'm also Tim's friend. And I think the community is forgetting one thank you that needs to be said. Tim not only showed up to the island by himself, he brought his lovely bride, Vicki. And from the beginning, Vicki has been a part of almost every program that Tim started, whether it was collecting money or decorating or tearing down. I've seen her mopping floors. And then she had the honor and privilege of having 3 lovely daughters who also started becoming ticket collectors and directors and helping little kids. Well, first they were little kids, Easter egg hunts, the Olympics, the little preschool Olympics. So not only are we losing Tim as a director and a rec director, but we're losing the whole family, the whole Rooney family. Now, I'm doing my best to keep the girls working on the television end, so I got a couple of them helping me out now. So I'm still trying to keep the Rooneys on the island, but this community really, as a fellow employee of Tim's and a friend, I think we all have to give Vicki and Patty and Lizzie and Jackie a thank you for all participation.
Thank you, Mr. Fournier. Other comments on Mr. Rooney? All right, back to general public comment on any topic, and Mr. Clark? Everybody's in a good mood, Woody.
You guys are going to get out of a good mood. Tim was a man, great. You're not going to replace him. You're not going to replace that man. He did a lot for this township. Okay.